just want to also say it's not an all or nothing thing, right? So everybody has different pain points, and you might be somebody who just is very addicted to paper towel, and eliminating them entirely might be a little hard. So even if you reduce them significantly, it makes a difference. And if this isn't your thing, there's so many other things you can try. So we try not to have one size fits all.
Mhm.
My 29-year-old daughter was just here, and we just did a little video for Instagram on kind of what she has and what I have. And we're both sustainable. Neither of us buy paper towel, but we use some different products, and that's okay.
Welcome to Redesigning Health and Home. I'm Meg.
And I'm Kerri. We love creating beautiful, functional spaces and living healthy, vibrant lives. So join us as we chat about simple, practical ways to take care of your body, mind, and your home. Whether it's fitness tips, home decor ideas, or navigating those big life moments, we're here to share what's working for us and what isn't, with some encouragement along the way.
And occasionally, we'll sprinkle in some fun topics to brighten your day and to make you smile. Let's redesign this life together, one step, one room, and one habit at a time.
Happy Friday and welcome to Redesigning Health and Home. It's Kerri. Today, Meg is cheering us on from the sidelines as we have a wonderful guest. Today, we're talking to Janette Spiezio, and Janette owns an incredible sustainable business called Sustainable Haus, spelled Haus, in New Jersey. And I just am so grateful for you joining us today, Janette. I would love to hear from you how you got started in sustainability and what can the everyday person do that's maybe small steps towards being more sustainable in their lifestyle. I would love to hear what you have to say about that.
Sure, I would love to talk about it. I am a first-generation American, and for us, it was out of necessity to live a bit differently. And for the most part, the really simple answer to that ginormous question is live simpler. And, you know, instead of worrying so much and getting so lost in everything that's coming at us, let's listen to the marketing less and get back to the basics. Because for me, the primary root of everything we do is non-toxic. So if you ask me, like, what can you do personally? The first thing I'm going to say is eat organic. Specifically drink reverse osmosis water. Wear cotton clothing, natural fibers, organic if you can afford it, thrifted organic if you can find it. Like, those are the ways that we have less of an impact. And that impact is so important. So if there's a small carbon footprint to produce synthetic toxic dyed clothing, that's not a good thing. Just because it's made out of recycled water bottles does not make it healthy to put on your skin. So we try to focus on living in harmony with nature, because we're both nature. Our listeners are all nature. It's not some place we go, it is who we are. So those are the kinds of things that I think starts the shift. And for us, everything we do at the store is kind of the easy stuff, right? Like, if you can just buy a laundry detergent with clean ingredients, if you can just buy a better shampoo bar, if you can buy reusable wipes, those are easy changes. But the harder ones are, how we treat the land, not using pesticides on our lawn. I mean, it's just such a big thing. So yeah, but I also think in terms of the overwhelm for people, start small, make one or two changes, commit to learning and making a change every week, twice a month, whatever you can kind of do. And when you start to look around, you'll find that it's like a, rolling stone. It just gets easier and easier as you keep going.
Well, I like that. I took a look at your website. I thought, well, I'm going to browse through your website just to make myself familiar with your products. And 546 products is what it said that you have on there. And so that's a lot of products to look through. And a couple things that I noticed. The first thing I noticed reminded me of going to grandma's house. and seeing some of the things that she used. And some of the great memories that I have about going to my grandmother's house was she was an avid gardener. The laundry was all hung out on the line to dry, and nothing smelled as good as grandma's laundry hanging out on the line. And the wooden spoons and the making her own jam and squeezing it through a pillowcase and all those super, as you said, going back simpler are kind of the real sweet, cherished memories that I have from, going to visit grandma. And as I was going through the pages and pages of items that you have on your website, I saw a lot of things that grandma used to use, right? And it did just make me think we don't necessarily have to jump on the latest trend or item that's out there without having a little bit of consideration about, how was this made? Is this something I want to bring into my home and want to use for cooking or putting on my skin or whatever? I have so many questions for you. So how do you choose your items? What kind of criteria do they have to pass to make it into your store?
Well, there might be 500 items with all the different variations, because if you want a blue white versus a pink white, that's two right there. So we have like really kind of 3,000 options.
Oh, wow.
And and I make over 100, and we have over 100 refillables at the store. So refillables would be like a liquid shampoo, or we actually consider a shampoo bar to be refillable. So we have a lot of stuff. And for us, we look mostly at the ingredients. We try to work with ethical companies, but sometimes it's really, really hard to get to perfection. So I have a lot of people that get really detailed, and they prefer a stainless steel that's 18-0, but not everything can be manufactured in 18-0. And so we have some really great things that are 18-0, 18-10, 18-8. And I know this is really in the weeds, but for some people that really matters. So we try to look at all the details. We also try to consider how ethical is the company. If they're selling products that we absolutely feel are destroying the environment, we try hard not to be part of that mix and not really work with them. But it is hard. And we also live in this world where plastic is everywhere. So we have a really good company. They have somebody helping them with shipping, and all of a sudden, all their great products come with some plastic around it, and you're like, no.
Right.
So we look mostly at ingredients. We work with companies that we think are ethical, are nature focused, have the same values as we have, and we try to make them better. So if we find that we don't like a particular ingredient or a product or a wrapping, we'll talk to them about it. And what's really interesting is, so across the US, don't quote me, I really don't know exactly how many, but there is well over 500 refill stores, and they're closing all the time. They're also popping up, but a lot of them are closing. And I know that we have influenced a good number of stores not to carry certain products that we think are really toxic. So quite a number of stores have stopped carrying it because we talk about it. And, so we try to influence others as well.
So one of the items that you carry that I do really appreciate, as you mentioned, are your refillable items. I actually thought about this years ago and thought, how come we can't just take a jar in somewhere and fill it up with, I don't know, sugar like grandma used to do? Do you remember Little House on the Prairie? And they would go to the little market and fill up their basket or fill up their grain sack or fill up a jar with whatever. It reminds me of that. So what are you holding in your hand there?
So this is the laundry detergent we make. And so for us, everything is package free. If you want to come in and bring your own jar, any jar, clean and dry, it can get filled directly. So the jar gets weighed, the container, whatever it is, box, can, etc., gets weighed. And then we fill it up with the product, and then it gets weighed again. So we just charge you for the product. But if you don't have your own, we usually have some free jars that you can take. You can buy a jar, or you can buy it. Ours comes in glass. This is a mason jar, so it's endlessly reusable, even if you choose not to reuse it for this purpose. This label we glue on with milk That's it, just milk. So
Right.
paper and milk.
Okay.
So it's, really the least environmental impact possible. But we also love to do things that are like a shampoo bar. So a shampoo and a conditioner bar they look like that.
Okay.
They are not soap. It's not soap. It's shampoo ingredients, no water.
Oh,
So
right.
there's a little bit of a learning curve because I love to talk about exactly what you said, which is things you'd see at grandma's house. And that's because if we rolled the clocks back and just lived a little bit more like they did 100 years ago, we'd be in so much better shape. And the problem is because of the invention of plastics and the way that our society has been built on everything being disposable
Mhm.
and relying on plastic, unfortunately, we have lost the institutional knowledge on how to use powder laundry detergent, shampoo bars, even how to use a bar of soap to wash your dishes. These are all things that were done 100 years ago, and we have to relearn them because we've gotten so used to a culture of convenience.
Right. Yeah.
So, yeah.
And yet, is it really terribly inconvenient to fill a jar with some laundry detergent or to use a bar of soap to wash your dishes versus liquid soap? So
Yeah.
it's probably just taking that little minute to think about, is this really inconvenient compared to what the benefit is?
So I think the one of the main issues, because I believe that people in general want to do good. They don't want to harm the environment. They don't want to harm their family. They want to live a non-toxic life. And if they're anything like me, I assumed, wrongfully so, but I assumed that what you bought in the grocery would be good. It's a food store, place where we buy things to eat. And, now I know so much more. And I know that even some of the food in there is really not what I would ever feed my family.
Mhm.
So you have to learn that first, right? So until you learn that our everyday things are full of toxins, you really don't start to look for something better. And when you see what we call greenwashing, that's when a company makes it seem like they're doing good, they're you know living in harmony with the nature and the environment by having green labels, having certain seals, having the kind of words or even packaging that looks really nice, but it's not. So when you see that those products can be rated really poorly for their ingredients, when you realize that their packaging must include some level of plastic, if not entirely plastic, you start to then learn a little bit more. So I think the biggest issue is that consumers need to learn how to live cleaner, and they need to know that that's important. And it often doesn't happen until somebody in their life gets sick, their child, their sister, themselves, their parents. And then they start to look for better choices. And then once they see it, it isn't really that hard, but there's not a lot of refill stores around. Um, Everybody's used to a culture of convenience. They think they're already picking really good choices, right? They're shopping in the grocery store. They're getting products that say that they're green and clean. They're buying things that are unscented. It's just not enough. And they just don't know that.
So where does somebody go to learn that kind of stuff?
I think there's a lot of choices. I think we're starting to see some courses at universities. You can follow people like us. There is a whole wellness movement. Everybody focuses on something different. You can learn about it by reading. The first book I read was Beth Terry's My Plastic Free Life. And boy, that was an education. I never loved plastic, but I learned so much from her. And there's a ton of books out there. There's lots of blogs, newsletters, stores, places that you can learn a lot about it. But you have to have a good sense of curiosity. You have to have a good dose of just questioning. You have to question everything because it's not always what it seems.
Sure. Well, we'll include the information about that book in the link on our show notes. And if you have other books to share with us, Janette, we'll include those titles as well.
I'll just tell you, we have on our website is a resources link, and you will find books, docuseries, documentaries, podcasts, kind of all kinds of stuff. So
Oh, perfect. So if we just go to Sustainable Haus, HAUS.com, it sounds like the resources are already right there for us. So that's perfect. That makes it super simple. When I went to your website, I was browsing through and thinking, I'd like to order a couple things for myself just to try. And I think the two items that I purchased are ones that you actually make. You sent me a text message today saying, I just want to confirm, what color would you like? And so I chose two things. And I thought, well, these are, again, simple changes. And so what Janette's holding in her hand right now, if you're watching our YouTube, is the non-paper paper towels. So please tell us about those and how adorable are they? Like that print is so cute.
yeah. So we have lots of prints, and because I make a lot and we have a lot of variety, sometimes, we don't have a lot of scanning SKUs. So when the team checks people out at the farmer's market, online, in the store, we have to make sure we get the right variation. So sometimes we run out of things and our inventory's off. So that does happen. But this is one of our newer prints. It's flannel, and flannel sticks to itself. So you can roll these onto a paper towel roll. And no matter how you mount your paper towel, they just pull off and then you can use them.
Yeah.
They make great napkins, wipes. They're not super absorbent. If you want absorbency, we like Swedish dishcloths and our terry cloth wipes. So there's lots of different options. We have sponges, we have all kinds of things. But these are a great way to really reduce paper towel. So for me, over 10 years, I used not one paper towel, did not buy one, did not use one. And that includes COVID. And I saved approximately $3,500.
Wow.
So yes, a small investment, but a huge savings. And I just want to also say, it's not an all or nothing thing, right? So everybody has different pain points, and you might be somebody who just is very addicted to paper towel, and eliminating them entirely might be a little hard. So even if you reduce them significantly, it makes a difference. And if this isn't your thing, there's so many other things you can try. So we try not to have one size fits all.
Mhm.
My 29-year-old daughter was just here, and we just did a little video for Instagram on kind of what she has and what I have. And we're both sustainable. Neither of us buy paper towel, but we use some different products,
Uh-huh.
and that's okay. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, I love that you said that it doesn't have to be all or nothing, because it made me think of our youngest daughter has a lot of pets. And so there's some pet cleanup that she has to do. She also pays for laundry. She lives in an apartment building, has to take the laundry downstairs to do it. Would she even be able to completely switch to the non-paper paper towels like you're showing there? Maybe not, but there are uses that she could use them for to not completely rely on the paper towel. So I do like that you said that. And it also removes some of the guilt, that we have
Yes.
around it all.
So guilt will not help us. Empathy, much more so. So if you fold it into a quarter, it makes a nice napkin or wipe, or great for kids' sticky fingers. My daughter has two pets, two cats, and they, leave hairballs and sometimes other messes.
Yes.
And what we've used is the wrapper around a toilet paper roll,
Mhm.
right? So that tissue paper or some brown paper, an old paper bag, those also work. They're again, not as absorbent, but generally you don't really need much.
Or I suppose you could use toilet paper, and especially if you choose a toilet paper that is a little bit more environmentally friendly, you're going to probably flush that anyway from the pet mess. So you could use that instead of paper towel.
Yeah, for sure. I had a dog at the farmer's market leave us a vomit right in front of my products, right on the ground, and it was not small.
Oh.
Just think hero sandwich kind of. It was really large, and no paper towel, right? And I'm not using my good wipes, so I had a piece of cardboard, and I was able to sort of scoop it up and take it out, and
Sure.
took me a couple tries, and hosed it down with some water, and went ahead and washed my hands with soap and water, and all was well again. So yeah, we find ways to get things done.
Absolutely. Well, the second item that I purchased, because I do use the little cotton rounds to remove my eye makeup, and you had them on your online shop. And I thought, well, that is such a simple swap. And people might think, well, I don't want to have to wash those. You're going to wash your towels anyway, right? It's not a difficult thing to pop them in the laundry and to wash those up. And again, I so appreciated that sustainable doesn't have to be boring. You had the cutest prints, and you reached out to me and said, what color will you like? And I was like, oh my gosh, I love all the colors. They're so cute. You had really colorful ones for people that love that, but you also had neutral shades for people that prefer a more neutral look. And so I did really appreciate that. And I could imagine that your customers probably come in and are really surprised by how fun your story is. I was looking online and on your Instagram and thinking, I would love to go into your store. It's like browsing an adorable boutique. It just looked so cute.
Thank you. We have people that will drive up to 2 hours to come see us, and they will spend up to 2 hours. We actually just started a guest book because we realized people were, making a pretty big effort to come in. So that was kind of fun. And we don't think sustainability has to be boring or ugly or any of those things. And yeah, we might as well enjoy our surroundings. And eventually, even something like this is going to be really sad looking. I mean, when this gets really, really, really used, there comes a point where you're just going to say, I want a new one. I just want a new one. And this will become something that cleans your floor or, the really messy things, washes your car, that kind of stuff.
Sure. Yeah. It goes into the rag bucket that goes
Yes.
to my husband's workshop usually.
Exactly.
Yes. Oh, that's great. So as I was browsing your website, I came across a couple of surprising items. So I'm going to name one of them, and then I want you to tell me what other kind of items your customers who come in are surprised by. So rock deodorant. I thought, wow, okay, tell me about rock deodorant. How does that work?
So it's a salt, and it comes about yay big. And I've used it since I was in high school. So for perspective, that is more than 40 years ago that I started using it. And back then, and still today, you can get it in like a plastic tube, but ours is just a little square.
Uh-huh.
And it lasts about 10 years. It is beloved by about 95% of the people who try it. So the challenge is when you use antiperspirant, and you switch to deodorant, your body has to shift, right? Antiperspirant stops you from sweating. It's bad for your lymph nodes. Any breast health doctor is going to say, cut it out. So deodorant is the way to go, and it stops you from being stinky.
Right.
So the rock is a salt, and you just run it under a little water and wet it, and then you swipe it on each side. And the salt kills the bacteria. The bacteria cause the stink, no more stink. And for the longest time, we didn't sell other deodorants. That was the only one we had. Now we have 4 different ones.
Okay.
And I would say a good percentage of our customers, probably 50% of them, use the rock because it's $12. So imagine $12 for 10 years of no more stink. I mean, it's a money saver, right? So we're a huge fan of it. We're probably one of the few stores that sell it. It's hard to find. It's not easily available in most of the marketplaces that a lot of the small stores shop. So it makes it a little challenging, but we've got to do a reorder, and I'm going to have to do the research again to get more in. We order a lot at one time.
Wow.
But we like to have things that are off the beaten path, because if it's a great solution that we believe in, we want it as an option. And if you don't like it, if you don't want to try it, that is absolutely fine. We have a paper tube deodorant, very similar to what you'd find in the grocery in terms of like the way you use it. The ingredients are all good. It's our High Bar brand. We have a spray from one of our local makers, and we also have a cream. And it's refillable. So you can buy it initially in a jar, and then you can come back with your clean and dry jar, and we'll refill it, and you have a little more savings there. So really whatever method you like, we're there. And occasionally we have somebody come in, like usually a daughter trying to convince their mom to switch, and the mom isn't ready to leave her antiperspirant. And I usually just say to them, like, it's okay. Don't worry about it right now. in the next couple of visits, we'll talk more about it,
Yeah.
and you'll make a change later.
Yeah. Right. That's great. That made me think of two more questions. One is, what other surprising items are your customers just like so surprised to see in your store? Are there any that come to mind?
Sure. So one of the things that my children told me I was not allowed to sell is reusable toilet paper. Now, let me clarify. Um, I we accept people wherever they are on this journey, and we call them bidet wipes. And if you're using a bidet and you're getting a little wet and you need to dry off, it's just like a towel. You dry off after the shower. We don't see that that's particularly controversial. If you are camping and you are in the backwoods and you need something reusable, you can use it for that too. So it's up to you how you choose to use it, but that is one that you could make fun of and really go to town on. Um, so yeah, there's that. So I'll give you two other examples. We have safety razors, and a lot of people are afraid of them. But once you learn how to use the razor, it's a better shave.
Oh,
And yes, it might be anywhere from a $30 to $110 investment. The blades are 40 cents.
oh, wow.
So, you're saving, and they come with like 10 blades. So you're saving so much money every single year. It can fund like all kinds of other things. So that's one big, big change. And the other thing I'll say is this is our favorite brand of shampoo and conditioner. And the shampoo won Oprah's Best Curly Hair Shampoo, and the conditioner is the best on the market. So you could try lots of shampoo and conditioner bars, but this $32 bar of conditioner is like no other. And what I'll say is, for my somewhat wispy hair, $24 for the shampoo, $32 for the conditioner. The shampoo lasts me 8 months. I
Wow.
shampoo twice a week.
Uh-huh.
You can shampoo every day if you want, it just won't go as long.
Uh-huh.
And the conditioner lasts me 2 years.
Oh, wow.
So you have to pick your scent carefully because you're going to have it for a long time.
Sure.
And it's for all hair types, color treated, coily. Um, People aren't expecting that, right? So I have a lot of, especially older women, that are afraid to try it because they're so ingrained in their routine. But it ends up being a money saver, a better experience, but you have to learn how to use it. So it's one of those things that's going to take a minute.
Right. So I see there that the name of that brand that you just held up is Dip. And so
Mhm.
how do you use it? Like if you were to take it out of the box,
Yeah.
does it look like a bar of soap?
Well, I do have some props. This is the shampoo bar.
Okay.
Um, and this is a very well used bar. This is probably, I don't know, 4 months old, 5 months old. And you take the wet bar, wet hair, and you glide around.
Okay.
It makes beautiful lather. So the shampoo starts with an S. The shampoo bar is square. Square also starts with an S.
Uh-huh.
This is a nice little soap dish you can get, and it drains perfectly. Um, the conditioner starts with a C. The bar is a circle,
Love
and
it.
it is a little browner looking, more like a glycerin soap or a tea color, and it conditions what it touches. So after you've rinsed your clean hair, you take your wet bar and your wet hair, and you just glide it through. Uh, it's a leave-in, also a surprise.
Hmm.
And the more you leave in, generally the happier you'll be. It really is amazing. For people with curly hair, it is usually the only product that they use. So they don't put anything else in their hair after that.
Wow.
It's amazing. So, I mean, and that just seems hard to imagine when you're used to, mounds of conditioner and just spending a lot of money at the salon for your product. And we used to say it's salon quality. We don't say that anymore. Now we say it's in lots of salons. Salons sell it.
Oh.
So the biggest issue for all of us is that it lasts so long, you don't come back very often. But I think kind of the opposite. If you trust us for that and have a great experience, you might try the rock. And if you have a great experience, you're then going to come back to us for wipes, or you're going to come back to us for laundry detergent, or, it's just this cycle. I tell a story about a dip bar. And what I say is, The average person goes through 12 bottles of hair care in a year, some study done in the UK. The average half-life of change, right? Some people change when they're 2, when they're born, some people when they're in their 80s, somewhere in between. So figure maybe 40 years of change, 40 times 12. If you switch, it's about 500 bottles of savings just for you. But you love it. So you tell 10 friends, book club people, podcast friends, coworkers, kids, sisters, everybody in your life, neighbors, and you get 10 people to make a change and they love it. And one day, all 10 of you or 11 of you wake up and say, why am I buying my dish soap in a plastic bottle? Why am I buying my laundry detergent in plastic, or my toothpaste, or my makeup, or whatever it is? And you make a few more changes. And now, instead of 5,000, it's 15,000 bottles that have been diverted from landfill. And the only solution to the plastic crisis is to use less. So I'm co-founder of Beyond Plastics New Jersey. We're the New Jersey chapter of a national organization. And we're changing the laws in New Jersey because when you're an environmentalist, yes, I want to have a store, and yes, I want to help people make changes, but I want to change the laws, the world. I want to be an influencer on social media. Right. So all these things matter. And so we just try to teach every day. We try to make change, and we try to get other people to make changes.
That's awesome. You mentioned about refillable containers, which I love, but I live in Chicagoland and you have your store in New Jersey. So is that option open to me to purchase online and to refill?
So I'm going to say 2 things. I would encourage everybody, wherever they're listening from and wherever they live, look up your local refill store, because there are a number of them across the country. And I don't know any specifically in Chicago, but I'm sure they're there. If you get stuck, I will find them for you. So visit your local refill store and you can get your liquids refilled. I would also tell you, we don't need liquid. So this is Meliora, one of our favorite brands. They're actually out of Chicago, by the way. I've been to Kate's facility in Chicago. She's amazing. This detergent ships in a box. This will do up to 128 loads. The only bit of plastic is a little bit of tape. There's no tape on the bag on the inside. It is the cleanest ingredients you can get. Our 2 products are almost the same. So we wholeheartedly endorse this. And it ships so easy. So for anybody without a refill store nearby, or who needs the convenience or the time savings, or is ordering from us anyway for some of the stuff their local store might not have, super easy to ship. So this is a $17 box. It'll do up to 128 loads. Don't check me on the math, but it's somewhere in the 15-cent a load range for half a tablespoon per load. So, I mean, that's a win everywhere. So you can ship laundry detergent, shampoo bars, toothpaste tablets, all kinds of things. And it's a way we think those are all refills and they ship easily. But if you can find a local store, that's good too. So one of the philosophies I had is I wanted every solution I needed in my house. So we have things that most stores don't have. We have all kinds of wooden utensils, all kinds of stainless steel bakeware and gadgets. We have all kinds of handmade stuff, baby stuff, gift stuff, just a really broad range. And so if you find your local refill store, there might be things that we have that they don't have. So it's a good way to supplement what you find locally, and it's a win for everybody.
Absolutely. You mentioned your Instagram. You have a very impressive following. I think I saw over 127,000 followers, which is amazing. How did you build that community? That's amazing. It's not easy.
It's not easy. And we're a business account, and business accounts are just so much harder to have them go viral. But I would say this, I can give lots of advice on social media, and I would say post every day. Every single day. Okay, miss a day a month, that's fine. But you're posting every day a reel, and you're not posting garbage. Don't post just the latest trend. It should be absolutely gorgeous, hysterically funny, or very informational. And if you can do some combination of those 3, you're even better. You need to have a good hook, a good call to action, clear filming, clear speaking, captions, keywords, hashtags, all the things. And so I learned how to do it. And if you think that your high schooler can do it for you, I would say generally they cannot because they're not running a business. So the best person to market for you is you.
Sure.
So I do it all myself. It's a lot of work, but it's been just a steady focus. And when you do things that do well, do more of them.
Right.
So
Yes.
we are probably the first to go viral on the ice cube tray. We sell a lot of ice cube trays. I post about ice cube trays on a regular basis. So it always brings in new followers. It's just one of those things. So we've found like the hot spots for us, the things that work, and for everybody it's different. So one of the companies we buy from, No Tox Life, they have they call it their dish block, and it's for dishes. It's one of 3 dish bars that we sell, and they've been viral on just washing dishes. I've done similar videos. We don't go viral on washing dishes. So what works for me is not going to work for everybody, but you've got to find your people, your niche. I respond to everybody. Everybody. I mean, I might miss somebody here or there, but the goal is to respond to everybody. And so we've created this community. And so 127,000 on Instagram, 45,000 on Facebook. We have a good following on TikTok, but we haven't used it in a while. It's gotten a little bit harder. And now we're trying to do more with Substack and blogging and just longer form content.
Sure. Well, what I noticed when I was going through your Instagram is that a lot of information in there, helpful information, but also all these little glimpses at different areas of your shop. And like I mentioned, these adorable products that it just makes you want to visit your shop, whether it's physically or online. You just get a real sense for all of the items that you have. But even more than that, I think your excitement about what you do is palpable. And so you really, truly are the best face for your business because I can tell by watching you that you're so excited about the things that you're sharing. And so I really appreciated that about watching your Instagram information.
Thank you. I grew up as a very shy child. And I was recently just sort of commenting on that. And I learned how to be in front of a camera.
Uh-huh.
When I was in high school, I used to hate every picture of me. And so you practice and you find the angles that work for you and you learn how to speak and all the things. And I tell everybody all the time, you don't have to be on camera. You can have your back, you can have your hands, just your products,
Sure.
your team, but you got to control it. And the more that you can own your marketing, the better off you'll be. But get comfortable with it. And I mentioned at the beginning that we have a lot of stores that are closing, and that's still happening, which is so sad. If it wasn't for our social media, we'd be struggling.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, you are doing an amazing job with it. And as I was going through your website, and also I really do want to get to your store someday, but I was thinking, what great gifts, choices that you have. So here's my next question.
Okay.
I want to build a little gift for someone, maybe one of my daughters or a friend for a birthday or for Christmas. And my budget is maybe $50 to $100. Where would you start as far as suggesting gift ideas, for people that we love?
I think it depends a little bit on their interest and their level of sustainability.
Mhm.
So I never give a safety razor or recommend it as a gift unless the person wants it.
Yeah.
So if somebody says, I want a safety razor, I can get you the right one. But if they don't want it, it's not good to kind of push on someone.
Sure.
So I think the more cues you have about the person, it's very helpful. We do a lot of gifting with tea towels. We have some really cute recipe ones right now that are really fun, and it's like $10 or $20 depending if you're getting one or two. Olive wood is about $14 a piece, and it's just everybody needs a wooden spoon. And it starts the journey of, don't use plastic in your kitchen.
Right.
A cutting board is really nice too. You can get, smaller ones for under $30. And those are all really nice. But if you're ready to do a little bit bigger shift, so I look at what people order. It runs the gamut, and that's the challenge. So we used to do a bunch of zero waste sets, and we just found that nobody really wanted that. They wanted it a little more tailored.
Uh,
So we just had a mom whose sons were moving out,
uh-huh.
and she got them each a soap dish, a very pretty one, a bar of dish soap, a dish brush, and one got a bottle brush, and the other one, I think she was aiming for a sponge. So I don't know, that's 12, 22. You could spend $30 and get all of that. She got a nicer soap dish, so hers was a little bit more, but it's very doable. So you just have to sort of pick a theme. We also love food storage. So if you don't have a good lunchbox, that's going to run you in the 30-ish range. But there's beautiful food storage containers. And even just, we have these bowl covers. They're kind of like a shower cap. And they're not that cheap, but they're so easy to use.
Uh-huh.
If you've never used beeswax, also kind of easy. And we try to have things that are singles. So you could get a single one for $8 to $10 rather than necessarily a 3-pack. So it's a way to just introduce a couple of things.
I love to give gifts to people. And you made me think about the whole theme thing. Our youngest daughter has really gotten into cooking, and you have so many great items that if it was just like a gift all about cooking, I can imagine, a couple different sizes of wooden spoons and kind of build from there. It would be a really adorable gift. Yeah,
Yeah.
I love that.
We also carry Crow Canyon. It's an enamelware, so it's porcelain coated carbon steel, and you can get everything from plates, cups, crock pot, a stock pot, or a muffin tin, a brownie pan, a salad bowl, just all kinds of beautiful pieces. So that's also really big for gifting. But we like to think of it as very, very useful stuff.
Yeah.
And, some people are buying period products or toilet paper because we have single-use toilet paper, or, it's just whatever mode you're in.
Yeah, for sure. Well, as I mentioned, so many amazing products. I do hope that everybody goes and checks out your website, which is Sustainable Haus, Haus. Is that how you pronounce it? Or do you say Haus?
Yep. Sustainable Haus, you got it. For any of your listeners who would like to check out Sustainable Haus, you can have a 10% discount. Just use code podcast10 and it'll be 10% off your entire purchase. So thank you.
That's amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that with us, Janette. Where else can we find you? Where is the best place to connect with you? We've kind of mentioned them, but will you go through them again for us?
Sure. So Sustainable Haus, Haus, on Instagram is primary. Facebook is pretty big. Substack, you'll get the longer versions. Absolutely the website. And the website has lots of resources. So like a resource page, and we do dish rentals if you're local. There's all kinds of different pages and events and different things going on. We're at the Farmers Market in Summit, New Jersey every Sunday. The store is also open every Sunday. The only day we're closed is Monday. We love to connect with people. You can also find us on Instagram. You can find me Beyond Plastics New Jersey if you're interested in more advocacy. And it doesn't matter whether you live in New Jersey or not. You can see the things we're doing. It's far less active. I only do maybe 1 or 2 posts a week on Beyond Plastics. It's a time thing.
Well, that's awesome. Thank you for sharing that. And before we go, is there anything else that you want to share with our listeners before we end our session today?
I would love to encourage people to make 1 or 2 sustainable changes. And if you can't think of a good reason, your own health. Your own health is going to thank you later, because when you learn about the ingredients in most of the products in the grocery store, it's worth making some changes. So your skin's your largest organ. Things like laundry detergent and shampoo bars are a great place to start.
I love that. And I can't wait to get my items that I ordered. And I will definitely share my experience with our listeners when they arrive. So thank you so much for joining us today, Janette. I really appreciate you taking the time to speak with us. And I hope you just have the best day.
Thank you, Kerri. I hope you have an amazing day too. It was a pleasure talking to you. And I look forward to seeing you someday in New Jersey.
Oh, absolutely. I'm going to be making a road trip for sure. Take care. And until next Friday, thank you to our listeners for tuning in today, and we'll see you next time. Our guests join us to share their own experiences, opinions, and perspectives. The views expressed by our guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect those of Redesigning Health and Home. Our conversations are meant to inform, inspire, and get you thinking. As always, we encourage you to stay curious, do your own research, and make the choices that feel right for you.